What is up, guys? It's Fernando back with another video. Today we'll be doing my WWE Raw review for the August 24th episode. Overall, we had an okay show. We had some surprises. We had an absolutely killer match. And all the way through, it wasn't too bad. Not the best Raw in a while or most explosive, but it was all right. So let's get into it. We start the night off with an LA Knight promo. He basically comes to the ring and says that Roman's kind of avoiding him, sending his family after him. He made a tournament that LA Knight couldn't qualify for, so he's just basically trying to make excuses for Roman, that why Roman is avoiding him, and that inevitably leads to Solo Sikoa coming out through the crowd, and him and LA Knight are just bouncing off each other. It was comedy. They go into a promo. Solo just continuously thanks LA Knight for everything he's done, helping him, taking on the bloodline, and these two are hilarious. They're bouncing catchphrases off each other, and that leads to the Usos coming out. And LA Knight and Solo Sikoa continue to just clown him, just make the Usos look like an absolute joke. And it was great. So they get into some words, and it inevitably leads to them wanting to fight. And the Usos lay out a warning shot, to which Solo Sikoa hits an absolute matrix to avoid, and LA Knight's reaction to that was hilarious. These two are undefeated. Solo and LA Knight together, separate from each other, they're both great. They are so over, but then you put them together, and it's even better. I don't wish them to be a permanent tag team. I love them as single stars, but when they're together, and especially at the expense of the Usos, they're just undefeated, and it was great. So we had that interaction to start the night off, which led to the main event. Then we had a match between Stephanie Vaquer and Roxanne Perez, and this was an okay match. Nothing spectacular. They had some really good grappling sequences. These two had some good chemistry there, but it leads to the Judgment Day attempting to cheat with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez on the outside. Becky comes for the save, and to which Stephanie Vaquer is able to hit the SVB and pick up the win over Roxanne Perez. The Judgment Day go to attack, and again, Becky Lynch comes to the save. Then we have, again, that face-off between Becky Lynch and Stephanie Vaquer. So this is something that I feel like WWE is hinting at, that they feel like they've got something here. They've got something big with Stephanie Vaquer and Becky Lynch. So they did another face-off, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, how is this building our women's world champion in any way, shape, or form? Liv Morgan has just been kept off to the side, with Becky Lynch and Stephanie Vaquer always coming face to face. So I just can't get the fact that out of my mind. Like, the Liv Morgan run is just, they've kind of given her something with these two main eventers, but it still doesn't feel full. It still doesn't feel like I'm getting all the Liv Morgan, all the women's world champion that I need. And then we get later in the night, we get the match is announced for next week. We have Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan, and they kind of just threw it at us for not a really good reason. It's just a match for the women's world title, and that's it. Like, Stephanie Vaquer hasn't really been getting into it with Liv Morgan. She's been getting into it with the rest of the Judgment Day, or face to face with Becky Lynch. So it just doesn't seem to be clicking. And WWE just continuously seems to be booking Liv Morgan's title reign in a really bad manner. And I was excited for it at first with the addition of Becky Lynch, but it still seems that Liv Morgan is getting pushed off to the wayside. But I'm going to give it this time to develop. I really am, because you have three women who are capable of putting on great matches. And then you have Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan, who are capable of throwing together some good promos, some good character work. And then I'm willing to give it time, but it's still in the back of my mind, like, hey, what are we doing here? Then we had the best match of the night, the most electrifying moment of the night, and the best match in some time. We have Dragon Lee versus Rey Fenix, and this match was a blistering pace, and these two were so dead even from the get-go, just back and forth. We had some crazy spots, like that insane suicide dive that Dragon Lee does from the ring onto the outside, onto the announce table, in which Rey Fenix just took it on the chin, just got absolutely leveled by Dragon Lee. We had a brain buster. We had Dragon Lee hit a Styles Clash onto Rey Fenix, in which he kicked out. That was a great finish. I I thought that they were going to have Ray Phoenix win, but then when he hit that solid clash, it blew my mind that he actually kicked out. So great fake finish there. But it ends with a Mexican muscle buster by Ray Phoenix, and he picks up the victory. Again, I can't say enough words about these two, and the crowd absolutely loved this. In Canada, they were chanting Lucha Libre in Canada, which is something I didn't expect to happen. So we had those two put on a great match, and I just can't say enough about it. Lucha Libre is something that you're not going to get on a regular basis in WWE, clearly, right? You got to go to AAA to do this type of stuff, or there's not that many superstars that are capable of doing the things that these Lucha Libre stars are able to do. So it's just a nice breath of fresh air when you get these this in WWE, something just a little bit different, and obviously a bigger meaning in going to face Roman Reigns for this tournament. So absolutely fucking amazing match. Hats off to these two. They blew the roof off the place. And then we get the contract signing between Obafemi and Braun Breaker. The two come to the ring. Paul Heyman introduces Braun Breaker. Adam Pearce introduces Obafemi. And these two immediately sit down, and then they start cutting a promo. And Braun Breaker goes into cutting a promo about how everything that Oba has accomplished didn't equate to titles, which it was a good point. And then he goes on to say that everything that Oba had, another reason everything Oba has accomplished was because it was handed to him, and that it was all in Braun Breaker's hand, and it was taken away from him when he injured himself. No one was able to put him down. He injured himself, and Obafemi was able to snake his way in there and steal Braun Breaker's opportunities. To which Oba responds with, if Braun Breaker was alive any other time in any other generation, in any other years past, that he would have been the star. But he's alive, and he's performing when Obafemi is performing and here in WWE. So he will never be the face of the company. And he kind of pretty much little bros Braun Breaker. So we have that. And getting into the promo first, Braun Breaker is fighting an uphill battle. He was the future. He was that guy. But he got injured, and WWE didn't manage him properly. And that let Obafemi slip away. So he is fighting an uphill battle, and he scratched and clawed. He got the insults in his point clearly by saying that it was the injury that caused this, and that Obafemi was kind of giving everything on a silver platter. So I give props to Braun Breaker. He did a really good job of not letting himself get totally little broed by Obafemi. And then you have Obafemi who said some real shit. He said, you're here when I'm here, and he just knows that he's the bigger star, so he's going to be the face in the future of WWE going forward. So hats off to those two. They cut a real good promo on each other, I believe it was, for what they were given. And then in the end, we have Braun Breaker say, he pretty much presses Paul Heyman right to his face, saying that he's Obafemi's guy. And so then as he's pressing Braun Breaker, he turns around, he hits Obafemi, and then this is where the WWE just fucking lost me, man. So you have Obafemi and Braun Breaker fighting, getting that physical altercation going, and everyone's getting hype, everyone's losing it, and then you have fucking Austin Theory come in here and just ruin the whole thing. I don't know why they decided that this was the perfect time to have Austin. I get he's the tag team championship with Braun Breaker, but I don't care. Austin Theory does not belong anywhere near this feud. Braun Breaker does not belong anywhere near Austin Theory. So when Austin Theory gets sent to the table by Obafemi, and then we kind of get a stare down while Braun Breaker's on the ramp. Obafemi's still in the ring. But overall, from the promo and then those two getting physical is good until Austin Theory. But I'm excited for the match. I mean, this is the future. This is the next years and years of WWE is these two. If they can keep this type of work up, we're in good hands. So overall, I would say that was very successful. And next we have Javon Evans versus Big Cass. This match, I wasn't excited for it. Like, I wasn't looking forward to it at all. It got going throughout the middle of the match. Javon Evans was really strong in a mean streak, which I like. The fact that they had him they really had him beat up Big Cass for a good portion of the match. It was good to see that side of Javon Evans. I hope WWE can incorporate that into his character more often. He's not just this happy-go-lucky, fun guy. He is a clear and obvious babyface, but I like that little mean streak that they added during this match. But as the two are going back and forth and really, really physical, Big Cass, the match kind of ends abruptly with Big Cass just a big boot and pins Javon Evans 1, 2, 3. That was it. That was literally it. I don't understand that. that I'm just totally confused because Big Cass is supposed to be viewed as this big dominant character, and he gets into a war with Javon Evans, and then just wins like that. Like it's just not believable. Not one bit should Big Cass be pinning Javon Evans with just a singular big boot after he was just getting his ass whooped. So that just made no sense to me. And like I've said in the previous weeks, I just don't see nothing going on with Big Cass. I mean, and after the match, Judgment Day attacks Javon Evans because when Javon Evans came to Ray's defense in the backstage area earlier in the night. So does that, like, is Javon Evans going to go feud with Dominic Mysterio in the Judgment Day for the foreseeable future? Did Big Cass just lose the one feud he had going? I just don't see the light at the end of the tunnel for Big Cass. It's just not looking good. I mean, the performance was okay. It was pretty good. He got a little bit of blood on his lip, but there's really nothing to gravitate towards for Big Cass. I'm obviously I'm going to give it some time. It's only been a few weeks, but my concern is still there. Then we have Penta versus La Parka. Now this match, it wasn't absolutely fantastic. It wasn't too great. I mean, there's nothing really out of this world. It was just some good chemistry between these two. This was really based on these two's personalities with the Penta walk, and then if you know Lucha Libre, you know La Parka and his dance and just the in-ring ability. It was just real smooth, this match. Nothing too crazy, nothing to write home about. But Penta ends up picking up the victory with Mexican Destroyer off the middle rope. So great showing by these two. And then that gives us the final for next week, which is Penta versus Rey Fénix, which pretty much everyone could have called from the get-go. I mean, you have the two superstars that are in WWE. They're both Mexican. They're both luchadors, so they're going to throw those in the final. And I hope that match is going to bang. That match is going to be phenomenal. These two are the lucha bros. So I cannot wait. And obviously, like I said, it was easy to call. I think Penta's going to win just because of the star power that he has. Just because Rey Fénix just doesn't have that. I think Rey Fénix is miles better in the ring, in my opinion, but that star power and that character that Penta has is way bigger and going to sell out the show in Mexico and going to be known more worldwide. So I cannot wait. Great call by WWE to have these two. They're obviously going to have great chemistry, so I can't wait for that match next week. Then we have the main event of Solo Sikoa and LA Knight versus the Usos. We get into this match. It's a good going match, and then the Usos take advantage, and they're really working Solo Sikoa. And so they're working Solo Sikoa, and as they're on the outside, we have the return of Royce Keys. He comes and spears, I forget who it was, through the barricade. And then we have the debut of OTM from NXT, Out the Mud, Bronco Nima and Lucien Price. Again, I'm not 100% too familiar with these two. I've seen a little bit of their work, but this was really surprising. I was shocked. I did not expect a call up like this, especially in this spot of the show, the main event, the bloodline drama, the LA Knight, the Solo, these two that have taken off completely, and some of the biggest stars on Raw, and they decided to throw these three right into the mix. So, like I said, I'm surprised. I am interested. They looked big. They looked bad. They destroyed everyone in the match. The Usos, Solo, and LA Knight. And it seems like Royce Keys has fully turned heel in this way, which is another good thing because that babyface character that he was playing just didn't get absolutely nowhere. Nowhere. It wasn't doing anything for him. He kind of maxed out on that. It wasn't going anywhere. But the addition of the bandanas, the look of all three of these, I sense something. Like I said, I am interested. Am I super, super excited about it? Not necessarily. I wouldn't say I'm like dying to see him. I'm super excited, but I'm interested to see what these three are capable of doing just because of the spotlight that they were given in the main event scene. Like I said, the only thing that could hold me back would be how charismatic and how does WWE want to book these three, because they're going up against the juggernauts, obviously, of the Bloodline, LA Knight, and Solo, which it's going to be hard to take time and to get a win and to get over on the people like them. But we'll see. We'll see. This is questions for WWE to answer and for people like us to critique. Is it gonna fail or is it gonna succeed? But like I said, I'm interested to see, and like the show was, like I said, was pretty good. I enjoyed it for the most part. Some things here or there, but so I will not be seeing you guys Friday or Monday because WWE is in Cleveland, right down the road. So I will be going to that show. The Monday night show is pre-taped, so I'll be there. So I won't see you then, but I might make a video during the week of something else, maybe some NFL or any other things I feel like. But thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later. Have a good one.